know if this shows up on camera, but the ground right here is completely tore up. And you know what does that? Wild pigs. Looks like a tiller's been down here. Well, it looks like the coyotes got this one before I could. That is what is left of a hog right there. So, coyotes 1, me 0. See this right here? All this digging, all this mess, this is fresh. So the coyotes might have gotten one of them, but there's still more. It is my first season hunting with a crossbow. There's my crossbow right here. It's right here. I just bought it on, well, last week. I think it was like, I don't know, Wednesday. So I've had my crossbow for less than a week. I want to show you something. Right back there is a deer. So we have lots of trail cameras on our property, and we use them for a number of things. First, we use them to see if we have predators coming around, to know if there's anything that we need to be aware of, make sure that our animals are safe and all of that. We also use them to watch our fence line, make sure we don't have trespassers coming around. But also, oh, let me grab this better. But we also use them to make decisions about, if given the opportunity, what deer we want to harvest and which ones we want to leave alone. For instance, there's a couple of deer that are frequent visitors on the camera who just, they don't look like they have good genetics. Their antlers are bad. Like, we used to have one called lefty and one called righty. One had a right antler and nothing for a left antler. One had a left antler and nothing for the right. And so we had decided that those would ideally be the first ones that we harvested, just so they weren't spreading their genetics. Well, the deer that I got this evening, would definitely not be considered a trophy by any means. We do have a couple back in there that I actually saw one of them the first night I was out. Oh, if I was rifle hunting, I could have gotten it, but it was way too far away for a bow. But the one I got is one of those deer that we wanted to harvest simply for management purposes. So I am happy that that's one I got. Hey guys, I am just washing dishes here in the kitchen, which reminds me, I need to put an apron on. So it was a late night last night. We were out there processing my deer. Well, getting it started anyways. We got it quartered out and put it in a cooler overnight with ice because it was very, very late. And so I've actually got all of the tools here in the sink that need to get washed. I didn't get a lot of sleep last night. So getting these washed up. I do actually have an appointment today to get my nails done. And so when I get back this afternoon, it will be time to work on the venison and take all of those quarters and backstrap and all of that and get it portioned out in freezer bags and vacuum sealed and all that good stuff. So at the moment I have a mug of tea brewing. It brews for 7 minutes, so I set it inside the microwave so it stays warm. I don't cook it in the microwave. I hate using microwaves. I'd be perfectly happy not even owning a microwave. But I just put it in there so that it stays warm. Alrighty, so I'm going to finish up washing these dishes and get ready to head off to my appointment. And there's my tea. Hey guys, so I've got my apron on, I've got my cutting board. I'm just using one of my plastic type ones, simply because, yes, I've got some wonderful, beautiful wood cutting boards, but I am about to get started processing a deer. That is a lot of meat, that is a lot of cutting, and with the wood, I just don't want to use one of those because there's going to be so much meat getting cut up that even though I oil the boards, I don't want to risk the blood soaking in and saturating the wood. And so I'm just using one of my cheapy plastic ones, the ones I hate. And that way I can clean it really good, sanitize it and all that stuff when I'm done with it. So right now in this big metal bowl I have the back straps of my deer from last night, and I'm getting ready to work on those. The back straps, generally we will cut them into about 1/2-inch steaks, and then we butterfly those, and those end up being really great breakfast items, and so that's what I'm getting ready to get started with. So I just want to show you here in the freezer, these right here are the back straps that I did last night, or yesterday afternoon I should say. You can see we did these thin little steaks. These basically just get super quickly cooked in a frying pan with a little bit of butter in the mornings, a little bit of salt and pepper maybe, and Mr. Smith loves having those with his eggs or having those for breakfast. I've got some stew meat that I've been doing, and stew meat is a great way of using all of those awkward little pieces of meat that you can't really cut into steaks or anything like that. Speaking of which, it's vacuum sealed, so they're kind of squished a little bit, but there's 3 little steaks I cut. Down here I have a nice big roast. That will be a great meal for the family one night. You know, hunting itself seems like a lot of work, and really the actual hunting is the fun part. I mean, you can make it work, but that's the fun part, because then once you actually get a deer, that's when the real work begins. And the night that I got the deer, Mr. Smith and Jack were out there, and I had them doing the messy part. I just kind of sat back and watched and helped as needed. And then the processing, the taking all of those big pieces of the deer, the hindquarters and all that stuff, and turning it into usable meat has been my job. Normally, we would work on that together and it would be done in a day. Except Mr. Smith works full-time, and I'm a little blown out here. Except Mr. Smith has a full-time job, and he can't be here to help me do all this stuff. And so that has been left up to me, which is fine. It's just going to take a little bit longer than it would ordinarily. But that is meat in the freezer. It is fresh, wholesome, natural meat, no hormones, no GMOs and all of that stuff. This is a wild deer living in nature. Alright, so Dookie, sweet baby, I am going to head into the kitchen and get back to work and finish up processing this deer. And so I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this vlog and finish editing it and get it uploaded and all that. So thanks for watching, you guys. My name is Constance. This is Cosmopolitan Cornbread, and until next time, love and blessings.